Hey everyone, this is Delta, and welcome back to another Minecraft episode. This is my Sky City LP, and it's episode number 25. Woo! So we've got a fair bit already. So number 25 is the episode that I said in my last episode that I'll release my world download. So you can download my world, muck around with it, and check it out. So the link will be in the description, so make sure you check that out if you want to and download it and whatnot. So I'm just in my XP farm room. This is in my new 1.0 terrain generation side of my base. I've been doing some enchanting, so I've got an Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4, which is amazing. That's really good. And I've also got Efficiency 3 and Fortune 2. That one, I've got like about 3 of those ones. I don't really actually need, to be honest. But people do really want those ones, the Fortune and whatnot. I've just got so many of them, I really don't have no need for them. I'm not doing too much stuff with Glowstone. I'd rather use Silk Touch with Glowstone and Glass, so it's something that I only really use if I'm going to, say, collect diamonds or gold, which I haven't done too much lately. But I thought I'd check out some new updates to the world itself. I still haven't fixed this area yet. I want to add more bookshelves in the corners over here and whatnot, and at the back as well, so I'll remove that. But I've put now chests and fences on each side. I also placed chests here as well, and reason being is because this chest is getting too full. So what I have is my general loot chest, which has some of the items that I might enchant later on. This has all my food and whatnot supplies. So I use this as food when I'm enchanting, or so when I'm XP farming. I have a bunch of wool. I stack it up, and once I get to too much, then I'll place it into this chest over here. So I've got a fair bit of wool, and you can turn string into wool by placing it in a 2x2 grid. So yeah, so we'll probably head back to the other base, and we'll talk about some new plans for the episode. And yeah, so we'll get on it right now. Okay, so we're back in my Great Hall. Looks a bit different. I removed the chandelier. I want to obviously fix that. I talked about in the last episode about me fixing the chandelier and putting a new one in, a bit different one. So that's going to be done soon. I'll put that new one in, possibly this episode or whatever. I've also done some stair changes. I wasn't too sure how I wanted it. I've just started so that the corner here goes up in sandstone. So the corner goes like that, and the rest will be wood. Or I could do the other and have wood corner, everything else sandstone going up, or even like the opposite of this, where it's everything's wood and sandstone corner. So I'm not too sure. Maybe you could guys help me out with a decision on that. Other than that, that's just staying like that. We have a new thing over here. This is our to-do list. So it's a brand new thing which will hopefully help me organize my world and my LP episodes a much better. So we have some farms. We're a tree farm, wheat farm, sheep breeding cells, a cane farm, a great hall light setup. There's a light setup over there. So we want to have like a wall we can just place stuff down, and we can not forget about it, and we can always do it. So yeah, so that's really great. That's actually going to help me, like, obviously, like with my LP episodes and whatnot. So last episode I asked you guys what you wanted to see. A lot of you wanted to see some other things like another base. Some even said finishing off the other items in my library and my underwater railway. I will get into those eventually. That's my next episode's coming up soon. However, I just wanted to do some farms just to break it up a bit. But yeah, so a lot of you said some said a wheat farm, some said a sugarcane farm, which the ones that I'll probably be using is the sugarcane farm and the wheat farm. So this episode today we'll be working on our sugarcane farm and our wheat farm. So previously I've had both of these farms on the ground outside, and they've done quite well. I haven't really used them too much. I will probably use them more. But yes, you can see my sugarcane, so my wheat farm down the back. It's quite big. I don't really use it. You've got my sheep down there in the makeshift breeding cells, and then you've got embedded into the mountain. You've got my sugarcane farm. So I will be moving all my farms, including cactus farm, eventually up to the top. Into my base. I don't want anything on the ground really. That includes a tree farm, anything like that. I really want to have everything in my sky, or into the city itself, so it's Sky City. So yeah, so I favour the farms such as the sugarcane farm and the wheat farm over, say, farms like cactus, because I don't use cactus a lot. However, I'll probably be using wheat and sugar much more than them. So we'll be using that. So my plan is, so in my last episode we created a watermelon farm. As you can see here, it's going quite well. It's actually producing a fair bit. I've just recently harvested it, that's why it hasn't too much there. But every now and then you get one stuck on there, that's fine. It's not too big an issue, and it's actually really good. and we just store them in here, and we'll eventually collect a food source up. So last episode we made this farm. In this next episode we're going to be using these two slots over here. So 1, 2. In the last episode I equally divided them to 13, so 1 farm over there, 2 farm, 3 farm, so it was 13, 13, 13. However, I'm changing up the sizes a bit for the new farm. So in the middle will be a sugarcane farm, and on the left will be my wheat farm. And you'll see why, because the sugarcane farm takes up much more room than that wheat farm over there. So we'll get into it. So what I want to do is actually show you my previous farms, or really previous sugarcane farm more, so we can actually get an idea of what I actually plan on doing in here, and we can get work straight away. So we'll go hop down to my sugarcane farm right now and check it out. So this farm was built pretty early on my LP. We'll give it a whack now. So nothing is growing yet because I've just done it recently by accident. But it auto harvests every time you come in the door using these pressure plates over here, and it harvests it, collecting each one down like such. And they've also got the individual ones for each one. So if you just want to do one or so, however, I don't really use these much. I use the master one over there. So these are version 1 modules, I would say. So the version 1 modules. This one over here is version 2. Someone helped me out. I think it was Brady Haha PSN. He helped me out in saying that maybe we should lower the water block, so raise it so that the whole mechanism's down, and that the weed won't get stuck on the sides, as you see down there. So they get stuck down the sides. So he helped me out and got this one to work properly. So now it's works really well. You don't see these water things down here, and it's an overall better design. So what we'll be doing is implementing 2 of these into our new room. So we have 4 right here. We're going to have 2 of those modules instead of the 4, in a similar setup as you see here. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do a 2 wide walkway or just a 1 wide. I might just do 1 wide walkway for now, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so we're going to have 2 of these on each side, and that's why we need so much room. It's not going to be so much deep. It may just be more of a wide thing. So that's why we've made the room so wide, and we'll check out the other farms while we're at it here. So I've got makeshift cactus farms, really basic stuff. Another one over here, and this is my sheep area, which I just mash together, and I don't really need to use. So all this shit will be let free eventually, and we'll put some new farms up there. And this is my wheat farm, which I don't really use at all. That's why it's all grown and ready to go. But I will be using the new wheat farm. It's a bit of a different thing. We'll see eventually. It's actually a really cool farm, and it's a GenericB designed farm, so most of you probably know him. If not, I'll link his tutorial and his channel in the description as well. It's actually a really cool automated farm, so we'll get onto that straight away. But yeah, so what we're going to do is start marking out the area needed for the actual farm itself. And what I'll do is I'll clear out some area for both farms, and we'll work out an appropriate size for each farm. So both rooms have now been cleared out equally. Yeah, so I hope you guys aren't getting too farmed out with both this farm and these 2 farms being built in a couple of episodes. You know, even I'm getting a bit farmed out. But yeah, so we'll probably get onto the sizing of each room. Yeah, it's probably best to do that. So I know that this farm definitely needs 4, like that, then a space, and 4, and then a wall there. And the rest can be used for the farm itself. So that means that it would be 10 blocks to the wall. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the wall. And then this gives it 9 free spaces plus wall. And this gives it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 blocks free space. Now I can either make it with 16 because it's an even number. That means I'm going to have a 2 wide door instead of a 1 or a 3. I did want a 1. I can always just add a false wall here and make it so it's an uneven number, but I feel that I could just simply make it an even number, and reason being is it's fine. So we want to have an even number, so it's 16 across. I think I'll just count it again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16. So you have so you take off 2 for the actual walkway, so that's 14 divided by 2 is 7. So each thing will be 7 wide, and then door. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then a pathway. So it's then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. So this will be the door here, and easy enough. So the wall will go here. I might also put it in sandstone. I have some sandstone on me now. It's just going to be a 1 wide thick door, a wall, sorry, and it's just going to divide each room, nice and simply. So I'll have to do some more planning and work out how big the farms will be, because there is wiring at the back of each farm that I need to fix up. I may be able to fix it and put the wiring underground instead of on top. However, we'll work it out and we'll do the best we can in making it most efficient and whatnot. So yes, we have a nice room all laid out, and we'll get on to building the sugarcane farm first, I think, and we'll mark out each and every single canal in order for it to work. Okay, so I've done some calculations and I've worked out that each module will be 7 wide, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, then the water stream coming out, then 1, 2, 3, and then if you had enough room, then you could start the next one. However, I don't have a lot of room. I may be able to fit another row in, so having 4 modules like we did last time, or I may even have one facing left, one facing right, and one facing directly in the middle. I will work that out 100%. I can always extend this out a bit and just add more room to the back of each thing, but I kind of want to keep it to the block limit that of 15 that I have. So it's actually 15 from the here to the back of the wall. That's for all farms. So I'll work on that, see what I can do. But for now, I guess we will probably build one module. This is a revised module of my last one. It's much more compact in terms of how much wiring it uses. It doesn't use any hardly any repeaters, and it's slightly more compact, like width-wise, and I won't be using as much pistons. I'll be only using rows of 5, so 5, 5 on each side, kind of thing. So yeah, what I might do is I may build one just for reference first, and then we might go over how to build the second one over here. And get it all working nice and fine. So we'll probably build one first, and like I said, come back to it and see the finished product, and then we'll probably build one like a tutorial pretty much over here. So it won't be long. So our first module has been made. It looks quite nice and it actually works quite well. So we have the pressure plates here that activate both sides of the rows. I've worked out that I will have another module here. Whoops, and I'll have a duplicate module of this, all the ones over here, directly facing this way. However, instead of it being two blocks, we'll have one block in the middle where the water is. We'll have 2 water streams, and hopefully that'll work fine. I'm not too sure how the wiring will connect or work with it when it comes right up to here. We'll work that out when it comes to it, obviously though. But I had some plans of actually hiding these pistons over here. However, it doesn't look too bad. We'll go over how it all works now. So yeah, so these pressure plates are purely for stopping the water, nothing functional at all besides that, and all the real work comes in here. So our pressure plates go straight into an inverter. An inverter puts the signal always on. Now this redstone repeater was placed in originally. I could probably move it forward if I needed to, but it works fine there. So the redstone current comes around, splits off into 2 directions, one over to the left, one over to the right. One over to the right goes back into what, well, pretty much isn't another inverter, but the reason why it equals it out, it sends the power into this block, turning this torch on, turning the row of redstone that we have above there on, and the row here on does the exact same on the other side. And for this last set of pistons over here, or this specifically the bottom one, sorry, the redstone wire goes into the block, which then powers that one. So that's why we can hide it like that. And then we'll have the wall, which will come up around like this, and then wrap around. So it's all nice and neat and works well. We have our water streams hidden under here. That's where they will stay, and that's so the reeds can gather water. I'm not too sure if you can actually place the reeds with this with water here. I'm not too sure if it would work or not. So what we want to do is work on this one over here. So it's pretty much the exact same. So what we'll do is start building it now. So to begin with, we'll need to dig out a 5 wide, so under here as well. So this block under here and here. Starting in the middle, 2 out on each side, like that. And we will need to dig it 2 off the wall, if our calculations are correct. And that will give us 5 pistons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. And this is so our water streams can go in the back and everything works fine. You'll need to get sand or dirt, either, they both work. Sand I prefer because it matches with the sandstone better. And we want to place a row like such down the middle. You can use sand in the middle as well, it doesn't really matter. I however prefer to use sandstone. Like that. So now our reeds will go on the sand parts and the sand parts over here. On either side, which I forgot to dig out here, will be the water. So the water, we have some water buckets somewhere. Let's go fill this one up. I have a water source at the back here, sorry. So the water source will go here and here. I like to replace this block right here behind it with a notable block such as dirt, and this is just so I know not to break this one. You can use whatever color or dirt block you use. I just like to use it so to know not to break that one. We have it over here as well, so we can't break this dirt block, otherwise water will seep out into our wiring. So now that we have that, we can now place not sand, sorry, we're going to place sandstone above the water streams so we can hide them and conceal them. It doesn't have to be this doesn't have to you don't have to have this because the pistons themselves can go above it. Now grabbing pistons, in this case I'm using normal ones, I'm not sticky ones because I'm not having a block in front of it. We just want to deck it out like that, and then place them like that. So we have 2 rows of 5, so it's 10 on each wall. And the reason being why we have so much, we probably could just do with the bottom row here. However, I want the 2 rows just so we minimize loss. Sometimes the reed will get stuck behind it, and I prefer to waste the extra or use extra pistons, sorry, in order to fix this. So what we have now is pretty much a basic setup as we have over here. And what we'll do is now start the wiring. What I like to do first is dig out the trench for the initial wire. So this is the one directly to the right or left of the pressure plates. We want to dig out a 2 deep hole, and we want to send this all the way down to the back, like such. And we can dig this out all the way down through here, and one more pass here. Now each one over here, including the underneath the water source, we dig out as well, just so we can get the wiring all nice and neat in here. We'll dig this one out just for the purpose of this. So going back to, I think, right here, we want to stick a mini inverter. So a mini inverter, we block there with wire in front of it, with redstone torch, and then wire leading it through down into the back of the machine. So now that when we step on the pressure plates, the wire turns off, and it all works fine. Next up, we're going to create the supporting wires, or the supporting structure for the actual wires themselves. So on the very end block over here, we're going to place a sandstone block, not a sand block, sorry. And just so we don't actually see any of the cobblestone from inside. And then you can use whatever block you want. In this case, I'll be using sandstone, and that needs to be lowered down 1 block, sorry. So on the bottom like that, and then on the top like this. Now on each one of these, you're going to need to place some wiring. You can go all the way. On the top one, we need to dig out a too high a trench just so we can get the wiring in and whatnot. It's a bit difficult to get in, so I like to build like a little tower I can step up and place the wire on top. Then now we have 2 wires. They go to the very back, like that. We'll do the exact same on the other side. So placing a vertical stack of sandstone, I'm going to place a row like that, and then a row like this. Wiring on top of that, each row, so dig up again. And we'll make a little step up so we can get up there and place the wiring. You won't need to go up there again, so you can remove any structure that you create. So now we have the exact same setup over here. It's just that without the back wiring. So the back wiring is pretty easy as well. So what we want to do now is create a power source that turns on the pistons, which is this torch here that turns on all of them. As you can see, all on one side. You'll have these block updates, which we'll fix in a second. The really strange bug that I've noticed that occurs. So you do the exact same on the side. And you'll notice that some of them don't actually power. I have no clue why. Maybe it's a block update, but all I did is remove the block underneath. And they seem to work. You can collect them again just down here if you need to. But it's really strange that it actually happens. And I think a general block update will fix it, so you can do that and do that, and it'll eventually fix all the wiring. You're not actually removing any of the wiring, all you're doing is actual updating the blocks. Like that. So we now can cover up these parts over here. And get to work on the back now wiring. So the back wiring is pretty simple. We want to create an L shape that goes around this block here. So we want to place a block here, 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 and do the exact same on the side. So there, there. Now it's a bit hard to get in, so we'll just remove this block here so we can get up. This one here will go underneath the water block over here and come out over here. Directly diagonally downwards from the water block or the brown block over here, we're going to place a block there, and the same on the other side. Now all we have to do is loop it up like such and place the block there to finish it. I'm going to loop it into the block like that. Now when we come on, they'll work, but these top ones, the reason why is because we haven't put a bit of redstone there. So make sure that you put a bit of redstone on top of the sandstone. I had forgotten it. That one works, and then same on the other side. Pretty simple. And more redstone, nearly. Now just replace these blocks that I've removed inside. And that. And now you can then build your back wall however you want. I'll just do a basic design that I did before, and the other one. It's pretty simple. It's pretty dark in here. The reason being is because there's no light, so we can place torches in the middle. This won't interfere with the design at all. And next part is to put the reeds down. You need to put the reeds down before we put the water source down in the middle. Otherwise the water source will go everywhere. Like that. And then we'll grab a single water source and place it down there. So that's it. That's the whole module there. You also can clean up a bit, put more sandstone, but it works fine. There is a bit of a delay, lack of delay, because of the repeater. Sorry, I haven't actually placed it in. The repeater goes right to the end over here. Like I said, you probably don't need this, but I will be using this current further down the back over there, and then my next module. So for this, I will be using the repeater, but you probably don't need that repeater at all. But It works fine. All the modules cleaned and removed frequently. Now I'm going to build a module over here. Like I said, I'll probably do this off camera, so we'll skip to the very end and get it all sorted, and then we can work on our last farm. Hopefully we won't be too long working on it, but yeah, so won't be long. Okay, so we're all done. We now have another lot of pistons in here pushing the bigger rows. These ones are actually bigger because it goes right to the wall. That wall is the actual backing wall. We end up doing some different approaches to it. I'm having an issue with the repeatability of it. I don't know, like if you press it now, we'll show you now. So if you put something on an item and then we'll pick that up. I should put sand on there. Put an item in there, you'll see that all but one on the side goes. The side's all fine, and then you've got these last bit over here that don't go. Now, from what I can tell, the setup is identical to each other. Don't know why that broke. Setup is identical to each other. So the general setup over here has the general pistons and goes up here, and it splits off and does that one and does the exact same on top as well. So it does the exact same on top. It's exactly the same. I'll even show you, so if you want to see if you can see anything wrong with it, please tell me. I may be missing the most smallest thing, but yeah, the bottom row goes in the T, comes out. I thought that the T section would actually cause this piston not to work. However, it does work on the other side, so I'm not too sure why. So yeah, it's on this side, exactly the same. We'll go down, go around, and thought it'd fall like that, wouldn't I? Same thing. I've been out for a bit, so maybe I'm missing something. It's about to see, but yeah, T sections on both, and they go into the blocks. And it seems to work fine on this side. Everything on this side works fine, so maybe it's just like I'm minutely wrong on that side. I will check it out. However, I'm going to be working on our next farm, so what I'll do is just briefly case this up and get it all nice and pretty. I was going to put wood highlights in the middle again. This pick is amazing for sandstone. It just tears through it. Like that. It's like less than creative mode even, the time for it, which is amazing. It's pretty cool. So that's like that. Not too sure about the torch. I may leave it there, and we'll case that up until we get to the end like that. And we'll leave it open just so we can do some further work to it if need be. But yeah, it's one down, one farm to go. So this one over here, this is a GenericB design. I will show you, I'll link the tutorial in the description. I'm probably not going to be doing it too much on screen. I'll do maybe some just time lapse or cut in and out, and we'll do it like that because it's just the episode's probably getting a bit too long, and I don't want to show it all because GenericB has a full tutorial on it. So we'll get onto that right now. Okay, so we're all done. This does not look like a wheat farm at all, does it really? I had some major issues with this farm. I ended up tearing it out twice and rebuilding it. Did all these different things, checked it all over again, didn't work for some reason. And reason being, it was this simple torch up here that the wheat over here wasn't getting enough light and it was not working. So we'll show you how this works if you haven't got it already. It's a single block and it uses bone meal. So we have these dispensers over here that dispense stuff to us, which I'll show you now. So you stand right here and then it updates, and you just hold right mouse click, you just spam it and hold, and when you're doing this, it just automatically sends you what you need and whatnot. And at the end, you're left with one seed left or whatever. You can hold on to that. So that's good. Obviously, you need to fix it so this don't go everywhere, but that's pretty easy to do. So itself, it uses a lot of bone meal. I have stacks of bone meal, which is fine. So it's not like I'm using too much of the bone meal. But yeah, so the way it works is that we have a single block of farmland connected to a bud switch. This bud switch detects any updates in block, so that's the update when I place the seeds and when I bone mill it. So once it detects the actual it's been updated or added, it does one or two things. It first of all resets the bud switch. Second of all, it sends a pulse into a T flip-flop. A T flip-flop is what holds a state on or off. So state 1, which we'll explain now. So the first state is to go through here and come through here, go into that. This is what pretty much a monostable circuit as the way Generic describes it. It's like a pulse lengthener or some lengthener that creates a pulse out of a single straight line of strong current. That sends a pulse through there and breaks up the farmland, so the farmland is now broken. It also then sends a pulse through here to the dispenser to dispense another seed. So once the farmland's broken, then you get the player given a seed to refarm it. Stage 2, or the second stage for the T flip-flop, is pretty much the opposite. It doesn't, however, break the farmland on this one, but it does send it through into the other dispenser to dispense the bone meal. So that the one bone meal at a time to dispense it onto the farmland and whatnot. So it's really quite a neat farm, and it works quite well for what it is. My other farm, I've managed to fix it. I did some mucking around, and I just simply did some block updates, and they all seem to work now. So we can test it now and see that all pistons are now extracted and whatnot on the setup itself. So what we're going to do is I should probably create a tutorial for this in the next couple days, so you'll see this coming up soon. And it works really good. I'm really happy with the design. So I can simply just stand here and receive all directions with read and whatnot. And I'll have some chests here eventually, so where I can store some of the read and get it out of the way. So both of those done. I will fix these up, make it all pretty. You'll probably get this in the download, so check this out in the download if you want, and you can see what I've done. So yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the episode. It's been a bit of a different episode. I hope you like it. Over here, some of my my demonstrations on, not demonstrations, but see if I could fix the bud switch. For some reason, the bud switch was destroying the actual farmland itself, so I wasn't too sure why it was doing that. So I did some tests. I did like east, west, north, south tests to see if that was the case, but no, it wasn't. So yeah, it was just the fact I didn't have enough light, and now I have enough natural light in here, obviously, for it to work, but out there it didn't work. So really, really important to have light, apparently. So yeah, so it's going to be the end of the episode. I want to show you one quick thing before I end the end of the episode. There's something really kind of weird going on in my Sky City, and that is over here we can see ice. Funny enough, since one of the new updates, I wasn't too sure which one, it's been out for a bit actually, I now have a half an ice biome diving through my base. It's kind of strange. I don't mind it actually. It gives it some contrast, and the ice and the lava kind of have this little battle together, and yeah, it's actually really cool. So I can maybe utilize some ice blocks maybe in the future, depending on what's to go. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for the episode. It happens to be raining, which is fantastic. So yeah, so check out the download link if you want the download. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this episode wasn't too boring with the farms and whatnot. However, I'll be getting on to some new, or finishing off some existing projects on next episode, which shouldn't be too far away. So I hope you guys liked it. Enjoy yourselves, and catch you in the next video. So Delta out. Bye.